Somebody needed to die. And
Yeah,
I'll
you
say
know,
that somebody needed to die in this film.
I
You
think
know,
that would have been perfect to have them be stranded in the quantum realm and have a happy, send off without nobody dying. And that would have been kind of perfect to basically leave them out there in limbo and basically have Casey try to find them, but then having to become a hero in her own right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
leave
still
that.
take them off the board without killing them if you didn't want to kill them. You know what I'm saying?
That
Leave
was
this
the biggest issue. The mood
Chase.
of the movie, the tone of the movie. Uh, you saw Tick do an amazing performance, and he felt like he was the only nigga that was serious in the movie. Everybody else, it felt like they had inside jokes. It was all types of levity and something like, yo, like I didn't feel like it didn't feel like I should fear anything was happening.
Mhm.
Like it felt happy go lucky when it should have been serious as hell. Like this dude is trying to literally destroy your timeline. You know what I mean? Like, and they like,
But he wasn't though. He wasn't
Yeah,
trying to
he
destroy
said
the
he was
main
trying to.
part.
He was trying to save him.
Yeah, that's what he
yo,
said.
that's what he's saying.
I
But
don't
it's
know
actually,
though. I think he was just same as my man, the one above all. They keep killing the wrong ones, man. I
I
mean,
don't,
he might have wanted to kill some people to save more, but you know, they
I
keep
think
killing.
him,
They keep killing the wrong ones, man.
I
Look,
think him and He Who Remains are two different ones. Where
Hmm.
like,
yeah, they are.
'cause
They are.
remember, He
Yeah,
Who Remains was like, yeah, it's people that's worse than me.
yeah. And
The
he's
other,
one of them. He's worse, but he's slightly better than the other ones, though.
There were times where I feel like Scott Lang kind of knew what kind of shit he was getting himself into, but then he kind of just was like, I'm gonna drop a one-liner anyway. Drop a terrible pun.
I
Although I
mean,
didn't hate the comedy, I just felt like it was ill-timed for the circumstance.
yeah, I do like that he was really unsure of himself towards the end of the film. He wasn't sure that he made the right call, he made the right decisions. It's an Ant-Man movie. Do we really expect, it to be anything serious, any real repercussions to happen in the movie?
yes,
Honestly,
he
No.
actually
he,
did.
I honestly don't. I don't. I
I
think it's
did.
just gonna be a silly
You
movie.
think about the villains though. The first two villains didn't actually need that whole seriousness. You know what I'm saying? You dealing with a guy that could waste your whole timeline. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And you dealing with the quantum universe, something that you used already for time travel, and brings another energy source and all this other stuff. Is it like they went down there and it was all these different people and all this stuff, whatever, right? And like, you know what I'm saying? Remember that one scene where, old girl Catwoman was a horrible character. Um,
oh, you talking about Janet? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Janet Van Dyne.
Catwoman, she was terrible. She was a
yeah.
terrible character. When she was like, "Yo, why don't you explain what's happening? There ain't no time." And then she'll take another time to explain some other dumb shit. I'm like, okay, I understand y'all just trying to move the story and the plot point along, but come on, that's terrible writing. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Just let him know what the hell is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not mentioning the dude name. You calling him the Conqueror or calling him a him and all that good stuff.
Well, I feel like this movie had an opportunity. You could have gave me half comedy, half seriousness. Now
I
there's
just
my
don't know
thing.
why y'all so shocked, man. This is what the
Well,
Ant-Man franchise is, man. It's
but here's my thing. But what
Because
what
it
what?
just came.
Hold on, wait a minute. What is it gonna? What's the fourth Ant-Man look like? Is there gonna be a
You
fourth?
really
Do I
thought
do I
Ant-Man
even
was
care?
gonna do something serious with Kang? Come on, man.
No, no, no. I don't see. There's the thing. I didn't think Ant Man had a shot, and he shouldn't have won. Whatever. But this tone should have been set like, oh shit, this Kang dude's a problem. Because I agree with Fresh. Janet Pym was one of the worst characters in movie history. You know,
Mhm.
she had like every trope that was pissing me off. I'm sitting there thinking the whole time, they down there fooling with quantum time and shit. You know what lies down there. And when you tell them, and your daughter is constantly asking you, at some point you gotta tell her, like, hey, don't fuck around. That's all you have to say. Don't. You never said it. Like, what are we even doing? Okay, cool. Let's get past that. But now that we're down here and everybody's establishing that this guy is somebody you should not definitely fuck with on no levels. I never I felt the danger from the characters, but I never felt like yes, it's an Ant-Man movie, but a comedic theme movie can become real serious with the right tone. And the right tone would have been set when he kidnapped Cassie. If he'd have like actually fucked her up, we talking a whole different movie. We talking a whole different twist in this.
I just, you know what? I just thought, I felt that was funny that he had the use of the technology then to hold her captive and basically, crush him almost, but then he didn't use it.
Man,
at the end of the movie, I'm like, man, that's come on, man, that's not consistent, man.
Right,
I just blame the writer. I blame the writer.
Yeah, it's writing. Because like it's moments of this movie I thoroughly enjoyed, but it was moments that I hated, so it's mid. So you telling me this guy is so brilliant, he learned how to maneuver through time, that he's down there for what, at least 30-something years. He couldn't figure out how to restore his fucking power orb, you know what I'm saying? He needed Ant-Man to go in there to figure that shit out.
Yeah, and another issue that they said time is outside of time, but Janet is old. She's as old as her husband. The fucking writing is terrible, man.
Yeah. Then it hit you with every villain trope possible. The man had the shit won. No, I'm gonna explain what I'm doing to you. Like, go through the hole, bro. It's over. You win once you do it. Nope. Here's why I'm gonna kick your ass, Scott. Like, do it. Hit you with that Bond trope. So there were, and then the biggest one for me, Kang finally is like, you know what? I've dealt with revolutions. Let me show you how it's done. Goes outside, start wiping niggas off the map. Brilliant. Ant-Man rolls up, phaser set to stun. Like, what? Why he ain't just evaporate this nigga? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? That's the shit I'm talking about. Like, if you'd have just like evaporated an arm off Scott Lang, because serious shit does happen in the comics, right? Like, Hank Pym technically was a wife beater, I think, at one point, or at least in the Ultimate Universe. So they're not afraid to go into things that make people uncomfortable. The problem
that's not that universe, though.
Yeah. The MCU is
very lighthearted, and there's no serious consequences, man.
So, it wasn't. They got fucking bailed out by ants.
Yeah, and I just felt like that was such an ass pull because, comic wise, Hank Pym is the guy who made Vision, right? So they completely took that away from him and gave it to Tony Stark, right? But he makes some smart ass ants, and they're in the quantum realm. And I was just thinking, I'm like, damn, they might actually lead to Annhilus, because Annhilus is like a super smart insectoid who comes from that realm. So they so smart, maybe that's where Annhilus comes from.
Yo, man, we all watch ant documentaries, man. Every last documentary, they put other insects in slavery. So you telling me these guys took 1,000 years and it was one day, but it was actually 1,000 years to them. And they got all this technology. You know what I'm saying? Their goal is to propagate and protect the young and the queen. You tell them, and then they enslave people to assist them with that. You telling me they gonna just listen to Hank Pym? They had 1,000 years to fucking evolve.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and the trope of him just hearing it, like, I'm not gonna lie, when they were falling through the quantum realm or whatever, and I saw the ant spinning with him, I was like, yep, there it is. That's the one. I don't know how, but they're gonna do it. And of course that's what happens. So I was highly disappointed with the techno ants. I just thought it was such a I don't know who directed this movie, but he used some classic tropey good guy, bad guy, villain movie tropes, and I was just disappointed with that.
I mean, is it that, or is it just the fact that you figured out the MCU's formula and nothing surprises you anymore?
I think it's both. I think it's both, because I think even when you look at like Endgame, right there, it kind of kept you in suspense. It's still my favorite Marvel movie, really, for reasons. I can still go back and watch it and just go like, damn. even Guardians of the Galaxy 1, when I go back and look all those things and I look at like what we got from all those movies to build up with those two big bombs they dropped, right? Like, I don't even care about none of this new stuff now, bro. That's where I'm at with this Phase 5 stuff. It's like, bro, if you're gonna keep giving me the same tropes, you're gonna keep wasting guys like Jonathan Majors giving you fantastic performances. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? You setting the tone and telling me Kang can literally destroy timelines and has all this tech that I should just be definitely afraid of. Janet Pym don't even want to talk about this man for the first 40 minutes. Like, you're telling me it's one thing, but then you're executing something else.
And I mean, at least they could have went a little bit more into his motives. Why does he feel that he needs to destroy stuff? You know what I'm saying? Why did they feel that they need? Why did they feel they needed to, put him there? Why did they need to strip him of his power and put him there? You know what I'm saying? Tell a little bit more about his backstory, his motivations. They didn't really do much, man. In this film,
was terrible. You're right. Pacing was terrible. They didn't like. Majors gave arguably the best acting performance in all of MCU. This movie.
Yeah, it was funny.
It literally, the guy, like, he came in with this serious tone, and like, yo, when he was talking, like, shit, this guy means business. And then, you know what I'm saying, like it was like nothing to him to do stuff. Like when he said that line, like, were you the guy with the hammer? You know what I'm saying? Talking about how many still. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He talking that square business.
Yeah.
Like Sherm said, he stunned a nigga. Like, come on,
then when she said you go kill trillions, he was like, I mean, you talking to me like that matters. Like, I'm like, this guy's an animal, bro. I mean, and then I didn't believe that hand-to-hand sequence at all. Because first off, this is Kang. He comes, his fighting prowess, he's coming from the future. He knows how to fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't. I mean, he was, but Scott was kind of hanging with him a little bit. I'm like, there was no universe that Scott Lang would be able to hang with Kang the Conqueror in hand-to-hand combat. It was some straight bullshit.
I ain't gonna lie, he was pummeling it. I think that was like for the audience sake, because he was pummeling Scott Lang.
He was gonna die. He was gonna die. And here's the thing, man.
That villain crap.
And then it's, of course, it's a movie called Ant-Man, and Wasp is constantly got to pull his ass out the fire, bro. He can't do shit on his own, man. I mean, he just. I don't think I've ever seen him do anything smart. He don't never save the day. People can't get his name right. He's an electrical engineer though, Fresh. He's supposed to be smart.
Is that why Cassie was?
She was smarter than him.
Okay.
Everybody's way more capable and smarter than him, and they constantly got to save him. Wasp, Janet, what's her Hope is actually out here like saving the planet, reforesting forest and creating food sources and doing all this shit, and he's got a book. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just funny that his daughter's like, we out here doing shit, you not doing nothing. I'm like, I feel like he saved the world. What more do this man got to do in his whole life? He don't got to do nothing else.
Bro, he didn't say the world, he saved the universe. Okay,
yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to hear shit from nobody in my family if I say
I don't gotta do nothing for the rest of my life. Yeah. But it's just funny that nobody can get his name right. What'd you say, Fresh?
Agenda.
Yeah, it was some bullshit.
No, you're right. It was a woke ass.
You're just writing a book. What are you doing? I'm like, motherfucker, are you serious? You asked me. First of all, I just bailed you out of jail. Like, what are you talking about? Like. You ain't doing nothing of consequence either, except for in this basement. Yeah. Yo, that ass pull they did with Modok, that was terrifyingly insane. They should have did that to Modok, man. Yeah,
that was kind of sad because he was nowhere near where he should have been. He didn't use his brain blast. He didn't use half the weapons that he has. Modok is extremely dangerous. Now there are different iterations of Modok, but if I just hate that trope of them introducing these characters and constantly killing them off because they feel like they've got just this massive catalog that they can always go to and pull out another character.
Yeah.
Stop killing the damn characters off, man. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it because I like the callback from the first movie and how they made Kang seem even more like a person that is a conqueror, which doesn't, because he's like, I'm not a bad guy, I'm a fucking conqueror. It's a difference, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the tone you take when you resurrect the dude with a giant head and a little body. I just wish that the character Darren himself was not fodder. Like,
yeah, it was silly, you know. Like, if you hate somebody, you hate them to the day you die. He just, you know, his daughter said some inspiration or whatnot to him, and you know, now his heart has changed, and he's willing to sacrifice his life. And of course, he don't die serious. He dies saying a bunch of goofy stuff. It just felt like,
comic
you know,
relief, man.
yeah, it just felt like Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, man.
but even in Guardians, the first one, there was serious moments where Ronan is like attacking shit and Groot had to make this crazy sacrifice to save everybody. You know what I mean? Like they basically killed off all the what's that planet? The Nova Corps. They basically killed all of them in the process. You know, there was L's taken and lessons learned. I don't think the Pym family learned a damn thing with this whole quantum verse. None of them. They were like, we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah,
Cassie definitely should have died. She was way too woke. She was way too. I didn't.
No,
like
not her. I think Scott should have died.
I felt like if you didn't kill them, you should have let them have their happily ever after and leave them in the quantum realm to basically build a life there and then focus on the daughter going forward. You know what I'm saying? Because what are we gonna do? We gonna do an Ant-Man 4? Like, really? You know?
Well,
honestly,
they're gonna be part of the
Secret Wars.
Yeah, Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty.
Honestly, I thought the movie was entertaining. I didn't walk out of there pissed or angry.
It was a beautiful world. They gave us another beautiful world. I think it was a waste of Bill Murray.
Let's just go ahead and get rid of Bill Murray. I'm gonna say it right now. I didn't need that at all. That's why I didn't need that.
The women were super toxic.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
You know,
Cassie had a comeback for everything. Like, look, you don't know what kind of danger you're in. You here dropping
and
quips.
You don't know how to do shit. You know what I'm saying? You just in the way. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, she was a Mary Sue because she just had all this understanding of how this technology works. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is giving your child these particles to just run around and do what you will with? Like, who does that? You know what I'm saying? You got this dangerous ass technology.
I'll give you that one. Hank was responsible for that. I can see how that happened in the midst of the 5 years and the blink and all that type of stuff. I could see how. What I didn't understand was how she was so damn smart. But okay, whatever. We'll give you that. You smart. So I can see how she got this whole fourth right thing in her mind where she's got to be like this crusader of justice and all this nonsense. But
no, I honestly don't know, Sherm. I don't see why she was that smart because her father's not that smart. Her mother's not that smart. She didn't start hanging out with the Pyms until the dad came back and she was a fucking teenager. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't be that damn smart.
I agree with you. I'm just trying to make it make sense for me because you're right. I thought, honestly, given what the trailer showed me, I thought Cassie would be a screw up. To be a self-righteous hippie that, you know, extremely smart with a damn shrinking suit and just way too much girl power, for lack of a better word. I was just like, nah, I don't buy that. I didn't buy that at all. So between her and Janet, I just thought that made the movie literally take a grade down, like just from a B to a C, just because of them two alone. You know what I mean? And if people are mad about it, whatever. But I really think they held this movie back, those two characters, the way they were written and what they did. Because if it's just a Scott Lang adventure, he probably dies within the first 5 minutes, right?
You know, I felt like this was a Wasp movie. You know what I'm saying? Really, it was highlighting her and Casey, and he was a side character in his own movie.
To be fair though,
it felt like it wasn't we wasn't the target demographic. Point blank, the way they written this movie.
who was? Let me ask you that. Who the hell was this movie for?
Got to be for kids, man. My kids loved it. You know what I'm saying? I saw the kids in the theaters and they loved it too. It's not for us. I think they abandoned their hardcore fan, man. You know what I'm saying? Because literally,
That's terrible.
Yeah, you can't do
literally,
that.
the only time I really and thoroughly enjoyed the movie was when Majors was on screen, acting his ass off. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt that. Anytime he wasn't on there, it felt like a void. You know what I'm saying? Of actual, real acting, real storytelling, real anything.
See, that's tough for me because I did like the Wasp. I like her character. I like what she represents, and I do like Scott and his all. Everybody else, I didn't need them. I didn't need Cassie. I didn't need Janet. She pissed me off. I didn't need Bill Murray. I didn't need the revolutionary people. I feel like shit all got stomped out. You know, show Kang is you should have built up these characters for me to somebody to care about. Then Kang should just eliminated them. You know, since you're not.
I don't know, and then they really played up Hank Pym. He almost kind of feel like he half-assed senile now, man. You know what I'm saying? He don't seem capable. You know, his girl out there getting busy for 30 years in the quantum zone, and all you did was went on a date. And man, it's just, I'm just like, man, this is
it was a lot.
The undertones and the woke shit was just taking me out of the movie, bro. I can't take it no more, man.
You know what? You're right. Now that you said to summarize this movie, it was a solid adventure movie with a bunch of woke nonsense piled on top of it. And it really was, though, because like I didn't need a lot of the crap it gave me, and I guess it extended the movie. But if they'd have just stuck to Majors, Lang, and hell, even the Wasp, I'd have been fine. I
mean, I'm cool with if they're going in the direction of trying to, you know, keep the story going and do it, you know, do the torch passing thing with Casey and energy and put her in there. I'm cool with that. But you don't have to do that at the expense of your main character. Mm-hmm. All of Ant-Man's movies is been at his expense. He's always been the underdog in his own franchise. He came into it, he didn't know what he was doing. Janet did from the jump. She's way more capable. She's always been way more capable. He hasn't really grown since Ant-Man 1. He just knows how to use the suit a little bit better. People don't respect him, I don't think, any more than they did. They still call him Spider-Man and stupid shit like that. Like, because where's the character? Where's he going, man? You know?
Because at the end of the day, you just saved the timeline. But nobody knows that. No one.
Yeah, nobody knows.
You know,
and he's still alive. So what are you gonna do? So maybe he'll bite the the dust in Kang Dynasty or something like Fresh was saying.
They gotta start purging people. If nobody's taking L's in the Marvel universe, and I don't like it.
Unless it's like in a major Avengers movie.
It's like, what's the point? Even in a major Avengers movie, somebody died. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, somebody should have bit the bullet in this show.
Mm-hmm. Definitely got to take L's. I mean, still a solid flick, but it was definitely flawed.
This shit pure mid, man. You think about all the MCU movies. Yeah. It was what? There's a copious amount of movies they released, and I was thinking about it. Like, I see a lot of movies that were better than this, and I've seen several movies that were worse than this. So it's not as bad as the Eternals. Nowhere near as bad as that. Nowhere near as bad as Thor 2, Dark World. Nowhere as bad as Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3. It's not bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's not good.
It's definitely not good. Is it forgettable? To be honest, Will, I liked the, like you mentioned earlier, the world building. I thought it was phenomenal. The Star Wars shit, okay, whatever. But
dude, they got a, you know, that's one thing I kind of appreciated. Them little hooded creatures reminded me of the little things from Star Wars. I'm like, damn, you know, this would be kind of interesting if it didn't have Ant-Man in it. If it was just, you know, some unknown characters in the quantum realm, they don't even know that they microscopic and they so minuscule to us that they're not significant. And tell us a story about these characters living there and some new random character, or you could have even dug deep into the archives and brought up a different character and used them to tell this story versus using Ant-Man. And I think it would have been a little bit more enjoyable.
Given what you said, that's exactly why I think the tone should have shifted from comedic fodder to something serious, something different. That would have been the perfect opportunity to do all of that in one go. Like, damn. Now I see what the big deal is, but to kick off phase 5 with a mid product, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know what's next.
I think it's just gonna be mid from here on out, bro. I think other than maybe a glimmer, a bright spot here and there, I think it's all just gonna be mid product, and it's just gonna, people won't accept it. You know what I'm saying? Until we get probably 5 years or we get through this phase, and they realize that this is what the MCU is now, just mid.
I don't know, man. Once they release the Spider-Man, everything gonna change again.
What's next? Isn't it the Marvels, which dropped a very dope poster? But I don't know. I don't even care now. Like, I don't know. I don't know if every Marvel movie is going to give me a Kang variant and a bunch of side characters that just piss me off, then I'm good. But I'm hoping.
Yeah, I just hope what y'all said ain't true, man. I don't want to see Kang get his ass handed to him by a bunch of different random ass, Avenger characters. You know what I'm saying?
It makes sense of they made him black. That they get his ass handed to him like it's on some fucking more undertone things,
and when I seen the little Pharaoh one, I said, oh, I see what y'all did here. You made him in the high evolutionary black so they can get their asses kicked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna object to this.
Right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
Mm-hmm. Infinite amount of Kangs all getting handled. I will say this: the only bright spot, and I'm trying to pull one bright spot is out. I gotta feel like the Fantastic Four is gonna show up at some point.
I mean, they have to, man.
Right? They have to.
But they ain't showing up in phase 5, right?
I don't think he has any plans. I mean, unless they do some heavy Easter eggs, maybe. But yeah, he is a Kang. He's an Iron Man villain too, right? Kang is an Iron Man villain and a Fantastic Four villain, I believe.
He was an Avenger villain first.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I don't know.
One thing I'll say, man. I didn't appreciate them acting like a bunch of chimps in the fucking stands, bro. I just felt that was very offensive. I'm like, this dude, his intellect is way out beyond our understanding. And these dudes is just in the stands acting like a bunch of fucking chimpanzees, bro. I'm just like, what is this?
Call all the variants, and they're absolutely wilding for what?
Yeah.
I felt a certain type of way when I saw that. But I ain't want to bring what I felt.
Yeah,
I ain't want to go down that
path.
There.
We definitely could go there.
Yeah. That was offensive. I didn't like that shit at all.
And it was done on purpose.
Yes,
somebody
it's done
said,
purposely.
Make these niggas rowdy. Make these niggas act like baboons, orangutans, apes, chimpanzees.
Yeah.
I'm
like, what is the purpose? And especially if y'all say y'all took him and y'all put him there because y'all wanted him to die. Why the fuck do y'all care? Why do y'all feel like, okay, you got 2 guys you didn't want that wasn't rolling with y'all anyway that died. So now y'all say, you know what? These Earth-based heroes are a threat. We need to take care of them. They took out the garbage for you. Why the fuck do you care?
Well, they want to be purveyors of monkeys. I know what they're doing.
He kind of lost his way in the end. I ain't gonna lie. And the representation does matter, but not that kind of representation. Don't show me. Don't show me no 30 million monkeys. I don't want to see that shit. Still Black History Month.
No, it wasn't 30 million monkeys. 30 million black men looking like monkeys, acting like monkeys, sounding like monkeys.
It was not a. That's probably the most disappointing post credit scene in Marvel history. Like, whoa.
Yeah.